In this episode, we're celebrating a model school and it's National School Psychologist Week. From the Heart of Paradise, I'm Matt.
And I'm Sarah. And of course, joining us in studio, as always, is our amazing team helping us out.
The 16th annual PVSchools Community 5K Fun Run returns Saturday, January 31st, 2026 at Horizon High School. Registration is now open, so visit pvschools.net for more information and to register.
Calling all theater fans, the North Valley Arts Academies at Shadow Mountain presents Chicago Teen Edition this weekend. You can watch the show on November 6th, 7th, and 8th, and tickets are $10 online or at the door. Get your tickets at nvaadrama.com.
A reminder to all families that there will be no school on November 10th and November 11th. District offices will remain open on the 10th, but will be closed on the 11th.
It's that time of year. High schools and middle schools will be hosting showcase nights at the beginning of the month. This is an opportunity for prospective students and parents to tour the schools, meet with faculty, and choose their next journey. If you're interested in attending a school, be sure to visit their website or contact the front desk and find out more information on their showcase night.
Now, back to the beat. PBB, that is.
So we've got a lot of great things to talk about, kind of in the same realm, though. Luckily, the two segments we have in today's podcast are about the same school, kind of.
Yeah, from Desert Shadows Elementary School. It's pretty impressive. We have a lot to brag about. Last week on the podcast, we did a little bit of a shout out for PBIS, and we talked about how it stands for Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports, and it's one of our kind of tiered programs we do here in the district, and it's a framework to really help students and schools work with students, behaviorally, academically, socially, and emotionally.
And we talked last week about several schools getting awards. I think 9 schools got some kind of a PBIS award, but the big award that we're talking about today is the Model School Award, which obviously we have already mentioned, Desert Shadows Elementary School. That's a pretty big deal.
Well, it's a very big deal because I think we're the only school, I'm not going to say in the state, that might be a little bit big, but we're one of the only schools to get this award for the 24-25 school year.
Desert Shadows Elementary School obviously has been working on this, not just the staff, not just the students, but it's kind of a community thing. They came together as a community last week or the week before, I can't even remember. There's so much cool things going on in the district, it's hard for me to keep them straight. But we did get to take some video and bring a bit of that celebration back to the podcast.
Our school, Desert Shadows Elementary, has officially been recognized as a model PBIS school.
PBIS is a framework. It's known as Positive Behavior Intervention and Support, and it allows us to provide students with expectations for their behavior that are very clear, and to have a system to reward positive behavior, and then the use of data to drive decision making that supports expectations across the campus so that our behavior standards are known by the students, the staff, and the parents alike.
It's this whole idea of just being positive about the behavior. So rather than saying like, no running, you're gonna respond with like, walk your feet, please. And just really making sure that you're focused on the positive aspect of what the students are doing. And then once you really focus on those positive pieces of it, then they're able to see exactly what the expectations are, what you're wanting from them, and what they have to do to meet those expectations. So it starts off with the students just being JAWsome students. Like our kids have really owned what our JAWS expectations are. And then the second piece of that is obviously the staff and the school as a whole. And so the staff has really put a lot of time and effort and work into ensuring that they create high expectations while also making sure they have a positive and caring environment. You put that all together, and then it becomes this magical environment where kids look forward to coming to school every single day, which is what we want for kids.
We're very proud of Desert Shadows Elementary School. It's rare to get this award, and so they really stand out for having all 3 tiers intact and doing a fantastic job to support our students.
It's not just like one individual that got this award. It really was a whole community effort. It's one thing to say your school is caring and that every kid matters. It's another thing to actually go out and do it each and every day. And that's something that I think our staff does a really good job at.
You're truly a model, not just for PBIS, but for what's possible in school.
What a cool way to celebrate the hard work, resilience, and the passion of Desert Shadows Elementary School and their community.
Yeah, they really did a great job. And it is a very impressive award. Congratulations to Desert Shadows Elementary, to Principal Cunningham, and of course, congratulations to the Sand Sharks.
Yeah, way to be jawsome.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. So next up, we're going to continue that discussion about what's going on at Desert Shadows Elementary School, but also bridge it to the entire district because it is National School Psychologist Week.
Mm-hmm. And so with us on the podcast for the first time, we have Dawn Trueblood, who is a school psychologist over at Desert Shadows. Hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
So we're excited to have you on the podcast, for one, to talk about school psychologists and how important it is to the school environment. But we're really excited to talk to you specifically because you're the recipient of the AASP Psychologist of the Year Award.
Yes, congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yes, I'm just incredibly honored by this. And I've been going to the Arizona Association of School Psychologists conference since I was a beginning school psych. So I've been practicing for 20 years. So it is my favorite conference. They really put on a wonderful conference and have great presenters. And so over the years, I've seen all these incredible school psychologists win this award and they give a speech. And I just love hearing their stories and just try to emulate those practices they put into place.
So how exciting for you to be able to step into that role as well and be a mentor for upcoming school psychologists now.
Yeah, and I am. I supervise school psychology practicum students from NAU and U of A, and it's just fabulous. I love teaching. This is their first time in a school setting, so to be able to, share my knowledge with them, and then they teach me in turn, which is wonderful.
So talk a little bit about how this award kind of leads into the work that you do at the schools. For those who might not be aware of what school psychologists do day to day, what does that look like?
Yeah. Well, and it's funny. I asked my kids. So I have twins, a boy, girl, and they're in 4th grade here in Paradise Valley. And so I said, what does mommy do? What's my role as a school psychologist? And so my daughter's like, well, you help kids, which is true. And then my son said, you do a lot of testing to see if they have a disability and provide them the supports they need, which is also very true. And then they also said, you go to a lot of meetings. It's very, very true.
Which is triply true.
Yeah. So I think what I love about being a school psychologist is we have so many roles. We wear so many hats. My probably favorite role is to really provide those personalized supports for students. So working one-on-one with students, and just providing that positive reinforcement, because the students that I work with a lot of times find school challenging and it's hard for them. So I just want to provide some joy and supports for them. But I do a lot of assessments with them because I complete what's called psychoeducational evaluation. So, I really look at their learning profile, their strengths and weaknesses, because there's 13 eligibility categories that students can fit into. And so, I also, with students, I love facilitating, small groups to teach them the skills they need, or doing one-on-one counseling, and just, creating a safe, positive environment for the students. So,
and one of the things that we talk about quite often on the podcast, and anytime we have a guest, it's kind of all of these different positions that lead into the mini journeys of excellence here in PV, or creating those pathways so students can find success. I think that the same is said of school psychologists. Talk about how when you're working with students, the partnership between school psychologists and staff and students and even parents.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite aspects of the job is working with teachers and, providing consultation, collaboration with them, because they spend the most time with the students. So just making sure that they're, trained on giving the most appropriate interventions for those students. And also what you said, partnering with families is so important. You want that homeschool collaboration.
So I think you mentioned earlier, just to kind of add a little bit more clarification, if a student comes to you, or let's say a parent comes to you or a teacher with some concerns, you're the one that kind of helps, again, fill in the gap with identifying what the student's needs might be. So maybe it's a little bit more intervention here. Maybe it's you help them determine they need some perhaps extra reading minutes, or maybe they have to go to a small lunch group, and so you can help with that. You said you do testing as well to help students kind of get their needs met. And I think it kind of fits in pretty closely with this year's theme for the School Psychologist Week. It's finding your path.
Yeah.
So I'm putting you on the spot. But how would you say that you're helping students find their path within PV schools?
Well, I would say again, I really get to know the students I work with. So I try to see what their strengths are, what their challenges are, and put, I guess, interventions or different supports into place to guide them to be more successful in school and enjoy school a little bit more.
Yeah. And with that also, again, I know we kind of mentioned the PBIS Award.
Yes.
Talk a little bit more about the PBIS Model Award that you guys earned and how your role is heavily involved with that and how the students play a part of that and teachers.
Yeah. We're just so incredibly proud to win that award. So, yes, I'm on the PBIS committee at
very
Desert
nice.
Shadows Elementary. I facilitate the group. And so we're, constantly meeting. We meet monthly with the committee. And then I'm on the Tier 2 and Tier 3 support teams. So we meet weekly to monthly too. And we really just try to put the best practices into place for students and also create a positive environment. So we're, also have staff recognition. We always say, at the end on Fridays, we always put in our sand shark shout outs to each other, which is really great because we love hearing from our colleagues too.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just, if you've ever been at Desert Shadows, you can just walk in. It's just such a positive, nurturing environment. We're very close-knit, our school. I just love my colleagues. I mean, Brian Cunningham is such a wonderful principal, and we actually came together to Desert Shadows at the same time. So
nice.
It's kind of nice that we've, grew together, and we have the same philosophy. We're very hands-on, so we're always out and about with students, teachers, families,
Well, how great for Desert Shadows Elementary School. How great for you on these two big awards. And how awesome is it going to be that other schools, not just in PV schools, but across the valley, across the state, can learn from the model school here in PV.
Yeah,
thank you so much for being
congratulations.
on the podcast again. Congratulations on your award. Unfortunately, Sarah, that brings us, though, to the end of the podcast. For more information on the many journeys of excellence, visit pvschools.net.
And you can also find PV Schools on social media by searching at PV Schools. Make sure to support student success by liking, commenting, and sharing.
And as always, support the pod by rating us on Apple and Spotify and sharing new episodes on the social media platform of your choice.
Bye.